Hey folks, it's us, podcasting wonderkins John Bishop and Lucas Southworth.
Although this is a podcast about cars, it is not age appropriate for the target demographic of these films, as we usually end up talking about the reproductive organs of Lightning McQueen.
Alright, now let's take a look under the hood.
Hello, I'm John Bishop.
And I'm Lucas Southworth.
Welcome to the Kachat, the only podcast brave enough to ask the question.
Hey, what's up with cars?
Alright, and we have a very special episode today. Lucas, you want to go ahead and tell the audience what we're going to be talking about today?
You know, John, this episode, I'd like to begin the episode with a question from Liz. A bit early, I know, but it's a good one. And this question from Liz isn't so much one that we've got vocally or through text as we usually get our questions from Liz, but one that we both know in our minds would be a question from our various Liz's.
It's more of a question we get from interpreting just their general feelings about everything.
Yeah, and it's a question I feel we're going to be getting from our Liz's, you know?
Yeah.
And that is, hey, why are you doing an episode of your podcast about just a guy who posts a lot on the Cars Wiki in 2012? And you know, that's a really good question.
I would go so far as to say the question could be, why are you making an episode devoted to someone doing your job better than you?
Yeah, he sure does. But yeah, this episode, we found someone on the Cars Wiki that we just liked a lot. His name is Lightening McQueen. That's lightning with an E in between the T and the N. I assume to get around either you can't be named a character on the wiki or someone else got the name before him.
Or it could be something European, because they are from the UK.
They are from the UK, so... But I don't think that's how they spell lightning in Europe. But who knows? There's no way to know for sure. But Lightening is a very, very active member of the Pixar wiki. He has, 8,142 edits to the wiki since joining the wiki in June 16th, 2012.
That's 18th?
Sorry, that's June 18th. My B.
I've got a question. It says AKA Callum. Is Callum a name, we think?
Oh man, I never even saw that. Oh, does he have a name? Well, of course he does, but a name that we know. Yeah, I guess. We could either refer to him as Lightening or Callum.
And you know we're going to refer to him as Lightning.
But what really sets Lightening apart aren't his edits to the Cars Wiki, which I'm sure are incredible and accurate and just very good, but there are 8,000 of them and we couldn't go through them. But apparently on fandom.com, within the various wikis, they allow people to create their own little blog. And boy, has Lightening been using that feature. He has so many posts, so many extensive, incredible posts about cars and his thoughts about them and his hopes for them and his dreams. And I cannot stress enough how much I just love this kid. He is incredible, and his work that he has done for the Cars universe.
Also, before we go any further,
is fantastic.
We know very little about this Lightening other than their work, so any of the information we say specifically about them may be wrong.
Oh yeah. We know almost nothing about this person other than they like cars an awful lot.
Yep.
And a lot of Pixar movies, an awful lot.
A lot of just movies.
Yeah, they just like things a lot, and that's cool, you know?
They like all other media, it would seem.
Yeah, on their About page, he's got a thing that says, my favorite film series and franchises from all film companies. And he lists a lot of animated movies, a lot of Pixar, but the last one on the list is all other media. So he's just thrown everything in there. He just loves things, and that passion is what has drawn us to him so much. But uh, I guess how we first discovered him was in our research for our last episode, if you can call what we do research. Uh,
In our quick Googling of last episode.
Absolutely. We were looking to see examples of like aging or children in the Cars universe, and we stumbled upon his page. Let's see, Cars theories.
I think I found the page based on a Google search of kid cars in a Pixar movie or something along that line. We found one image and it took us to his blog.
Yes, and that's how we were connected with our good friend. But in this blog post, he basically just lays out our show. He he hits so many points that we have hit or that we are planning on hitting in this. He hits is there food in this universe? How does that work? He hits what's going on with religion, which is a planned episode we have. He hits where do babies come from, which we constantly talk about. The biology and organs of the
He's,
cars.
he's got a picture of a bisected car with the squishy bits inside of it. He's got the squishy bits.
He even talks about our favorite spooky headlight salesperson in this.
Yeah. And he even
Uh,
talks about something that bothers me more than it should, and in a way that, like, very much how I feel about it. And it's basically a what of their hands.
oh yeah, he gets both in this post and in its own post later on. He gets really into like how do they do things? They don't have hands, and he has very extensive notes on like, well, to pick this up, they got a forklift to do this, so that's how they do this, and he lists out all these ways they do things without hands that we couldn't think of. But my favorite entry on Cars Theory is you're going along. It's pretty standard. It's like, do cars die? Is there food in this universe? Is there a religion? Are there non-vehicle animals? And then it's, does lightning still miss Doc? And keep in mind this came out. All these posts were from 2012 ish, so this was before Cars 3, where that theory was confirmed that lightning does still miss Doc.
And the beauty of it is it's approached from a he goes through stages of grief and it's observable throughout the movies. Well,
Yes,
in this case, I guess it's just the movie because I think he only references Cars 2, correct?
yeah, because I mean, uh, Doc was still alive in Cars 1, so
I mean, I was referring to like there's Mater's Tall Tales in between there.
yeah, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, he goes through Cars 2 and just very factually lays out the evidence of Lightning going through the 5 stages of grief about Doc. Uh, and I'll admit, it's a bit thin at times. Like his stage 4 depression is at the starting line of the second World Grand Prix race in Porto Corso. McQueen admits that he misses Mater. So I guess his theory is that in Cars 2, Mater is some sort of surrogate for Doc, and his feelings towards Mater are actually his bottled up feelings for Doc, which is, now that I've thought about that, a really like deep explanation of emotions in these movies.
And keep in mind, this was collected from Cars 2, a movie in which Lightning McQueen is a side character.
Yeah, he just, I don't know. It's incredible. The work he does is incredible. I love this person. But going from his Cars theories, I think the best place to visit next are his ideas for sequels to Cars 2. Again, Cars 3 hadn't come out in this at this point. He's got two separate posts about his ideas for Cars 3. One of them is a bit shorter and not as detailed, but man, it's pretty crazy. I love it. in it he talks about how he wants humans to be transported into the Cars world somehow, and he wants them to bring some of their own non-talking cars with them.
Wait a minute. What? I haven't
Oh,
found this one.
oh yeah, there were two. There are two large posts about Cars 3, and this was the first one.
Oh boy, the one that I've been reading up on was all about like the crossover event, but
Oh yeah, yeah. We'll get there. That one's equally as wild, but
oh boy.
this one, it's like a paragraph long,
Okay.
and he posts it as if it's not the like
Greatest.
craziest thing to think about.
Oh, this is okay. Man, this is beautiful.
Yeah, but he wants humans to somehow get into the Cars world, and then he says, and then I imagine that the Cars would get curious about what's in the human world, which I imagine they certainly would get curious about that. And he says then the Cars would somehow come and explore our world. And of course, there's like a race and villains and whatnot, but I don't care so much about that just as the central idea of a human Cars world crossover.
I I need to read this. I need to watch this movie. I need to be in this movie.
Oh man. Are you implying it would be like live action for the humans?
I mean, I'm thinking it's gonna be kind of like not Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but like, is there a movie where someone goes into the cartoon world and they become a cartoon when they do? Because I feel like there is. I just can't think of it. Because what I'm
I
thinking
mean,
is,
there's kind of the opposite with Enchanted.
yeah.
Giselle comes from the cartoon world and becomes human, and if you go in the cartoon world, you become a cartoon.
So what I'm thinking is it's whenever the people go into the Cars world, they become that CG, but whenever the cars come out, they're as close to realistic as we can make them CG in our world, and it's a live action world. A Lion King esque.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I just if this movie ever happened, I think our podcast would implode with all of the new questions we would have.
And I think we would have to find Lightning McQueen to save us.
Oh yeah, that could be the plot. Maybe we ask too many questions. We cause our universes to drift too close to each other.
But also, if this movie happens, we gotta be in it. We gotta be in this movie.
Oh yeah, we should set up a change.org petition to send to Mr. Pixar.
You think that's ever going to happen where a Pixar movie is going to have this weird duality split of, oh, real humans enter the movie?
I mean,
They did that a little bit with Wally, but they were
yeah, that's what I was
still
thinking of with the footage of Hello
but
Dolly.
they were still in that movie. I'm talking like dimension switching. People from our human world go into a Cars esque world.
I can't imagine that it would ever happen. I can't imagine that anyone would be brave enough to make that happen. But man, if I ever get a job within the Pixar studios, I would lose it very quickly by only suggesting this.
Repeatedly, and oh boy. And that's just one paragraph written by
Yeah,
Lightning McQueen.
he just lays it out as if it's not the best thing I've read all day. As all of his posts are, he just
You mean year?
plainly puts them into the world as if they're not my favorite thing I'm going to read.
Okay. All right, we've lingered on that paragraph. Let's talk about this Cars 3 four question marks crossover event with Rio
Yeah,
because we're big
that
on
deserves talking about.
we're big on strange connections to other movies and prequels, but this one is connecting some movies that I don't see how they can fit together, but is proposing that they exist within the same world at the same time.
Yeah, I think our friend Lightening just enjoys Rio a lot as well as he enjoys Cars, and he wants them to be in each other's
I
movie.
feel like it's safe to not use the word think because it is explicitly stated. I really like Rio and Cars.
Yeah, that is true. He makes it very clear how much he enjoys Rio and Cars. But yeah, his basic plot is it's really just another like worldwide Grand Prix like it is in Cars 2. But he wants them to go to Rio and he wants some birds in it
Some
from Rio.
Gotta stress this: regular birds, just birds, not car
Yeah,
birds, birds.
he states several times that he does not want them carified. He wants them to be just the same version that they were in Rio, and with the same voice acting cast. Even he wants Anne Hathaway and Will I Am, and I think like Jack Black to reprise their roles.
You know who Lightning does want carified?
Who's that, Johnny?
Well, I got quite the list. There's Jeremy Renner, Rowan Atkinson, Emma Stone, David Tennant, Russell Brand, George Lopez, Cameron Diaz, Kunal Nayar, Sonoko Konishi, Anne Hathaway, but this time carified also. Chris Hemsworth, Diana Agron, Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, and I want to stress that he doesn't want these people as just part of the cast of Cars 3. Like how Jay Leno is in Cars
A
as
lot of
Jay
these would be
Limo. He
characters.
wants yeah, he just wants them to be car versions of themselves though,
For
right? For those.
these,
He doesn't want them to just be
no, I think
actors.
all of these, the beauty of it is all of these are just people he wants in the movie, and each and every one of them, not only does he have Jeremy Renner, New Spy, Quinn Tirely, Mazda RX-8. He's got the actor he wants. He's got their position in the movie. He's got the name, and he has the model of car he wants for every
Oh yeah, okay, I
single
remember what you're talking
one.
about.
Every single one of those.
Yeah, he's got not only that, but like you were saying, he's got potential like characters for them to play. I'm just gonna run through a few of my favorite of his invented characters, if that's all the same with you.
I think I've found the list that has a bit of both. Like the car version list, there's Jeff Gordon with Jeff Gorvette.
I feel
Beautiful.
like he could just be Jeff Gordon. I don't think he needs to
He
be Jeff
could
Corvette.
be. Oh boy. But here's the thing, Jeff Gorvette, that name is tied to an image that we found in a post of how many images?
913.
913 images. And what is that list called again?
It is called Some Pictures That May Be Concept Art or From Books.
And after we have both perused this extensive list of images, we can say almost none of them seem to be concept art per se,
Yeah,
but
like
they're all beautiful.
every once in a while there's a bit of concept art, like that I can look at and be like, okay, this is definitely concept art. But of the 900 images, I'd say maybe tops 20 of them are concept art, and that's a pretty generous estimate, I'd say.
And given the general feel of Lightning McQueen's work, what I'd like to think is he made this blog post, and then he had those 20 images, and then Lightning just got very excited about this place where he could post all of these images of these things that he cares about, and he just found so many things that he cares about and posted all of them.
Oh yeah, he's got like, uh, I think he's got like images of like all of the characters from Cars as Pez dispensers, and he's got images from the Toy Story 2 video game that he likes, and he's got just I remember one that's like a pretty nicely done like a colored pencil drawing of Lightning McQueen with some sunglasses on vacation.
Just a picture of David Cross.
Yeah, that one's one of my favorites. It's just a picture of David Cross, who I looked up. I don't know that he's in a Pixar movie.
Is Alec Baldwin in any Pixar movies? Because there's also just like a headshot of him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let's see.
There's a strong chance that this is just more dream casting.
That's very fair. Yeah. Yeah. only thing I can really find, I'm on the Disney wiki now, seeing if he's in anything.
Oh, this one's good. Bob Costas as Bob Cutlass. I like
Oh yeah, he really likes the idea of Bob Costas being carified, which he is in the Cars universe. But he finds that very fascinating. He mentions it in a lot of his posts.
so much content. Boy. And this is just one of his blogs because it seems very apparent from reading some of Lightning's work that there are multiple accounts all dedicated to the different forms of appreciation that Lightning has for any and every property that Lightning seems to adore.
Oh yeah, I bet if there is some sort of Rio, or is Rio DreamWorks,
Yes.
or
I'm gonna stick with yes.
whatever wiki that contains Rio in it, I am certain there is some. He has some sort of account on that, and
And I'm certain he's the king of it.
oh yeah, this guy's the man. He rules. He rules this wiki. I can tell.
Lightning McQueen. This is our official hand reaching out. If ever you want to be on our show or podcast, just just contact us, and we would love to have you on. And honestly, if uh if you want if you want our podcast, there's a good chance you can have it.
Yeah,
Your work is phenomenal.
yeah. You'd be way better at this than either of the two of us yahoos. You would put in so much work and research and love into it. Gosh, yeah. If you want our podcast, good, just let us know. Email us at thekachat@gmail.com and we can work something out for you.
And we'll just give you that email and everything else. Because the two of us, we're just doing this for just the insane paychecks we're getting. Like, we're getting paid so much right now.
Can confirm. But if we can get back to the his Cars 3 post for just a second.
I'm sorry.
Uh,
I'm so impressed.
no, I am right there with you. Trust me. He has a almost like he has like a few almost like auxiliary pages for his Cars 3 possibility page or post. Like he's got potential awards Cars 3 could win, which just, if as far as I can tell, was a copy and pasted list of the awards Cars 2 won. On that, he's got the Cars 3 possibility characters page, which for the recurring characters, as far as I can tell, lists every character to ever appear in Cars and Cars 2. Like he's got everyone from, obviously Lightning, Mater, Sally, Holly Shiftwell, and Finn McMissile from Cars 2, but he's also got like the spooky headlight lady. He wants her to come back, and he's got the Pope Mobile listed as a potential recurring character.
So, so a few things. One, Cars 2 won awards?
Apparently, apparently it did.
Well, that's something. And next question. When you mention the Pope Mobile, are we talking about the Pope or
Oh, he's got the Pope Mobile and the Pope listed.
oh
He wants
boy.
both of them back.
That trips me up so much. There's a Pope
That the Pope Mobile isn't the Pope.
there's a Pope Mobile and a Pope that is mobile.
Yeah, it's rough to keep straight.
boy. Boy, howdy.
And on this page, we've sort of touched on a few of them a little bit, but he also lists possible original characters that he's come up with for Cars 3. Characters like Dr. Sullivan Wadden, who is the new crazy villain and would be a Chrysler PT Cruiser. He's got Nicole Micra, the world and Rio's best tour guide, who may be a reference to a character in Rio. I have not seen Rio, so I cannot say with any certainty. He's got Sydney, a smuggler who can drive backwards like Mater, has a hole in his front, and is often wearing headphones. I don't know what the hole in his front means
Might be like
at all.
okay, so often wearing headphones, I would assume like uh teenager 20 something edgy listening to music all the time. Probably like some sort of gauge.
Okay, I could see that. That makes a lot of sense. But he has like, I am cherry picking several examples. That there are a lot of them who list like their full name, what their place in the movie is, and what like type of car there would be. But then there's just Ian, and that's the entirety of that character. He just put Ian and did not explain who they are, what part in the movie they would be, what kind of car they would be. He just wants a character named Ian,
In regard
which is fun.
in regards to this list, you find that very fascinating and very amusing. And I
Hmm.
find it even more fascinating and amusing when compared to the fact that Titanic is listed as a character, is said to be seen in flashbacks, and then is explained further by saying Titanic ship that sank after hitting an iceberg in 1912.
Yeah, that is another one of my favorites. It's
Lightning McQueen felt the need to explain what the Titanic is, and explained that it was a ship, explained the event that happened, explained that Titanic would be seen in flashbacks, and yet Ian is just Ian.
Ian stands on its own. We all get Ian. We know what he's going for.
Everybody knows Ian, of course.
I also just love that it seems like he has a need almost like we do. Like he needs to know how the Titanic happened. I think that's the only reason he listed it as a potential character is that some part of him wants to know how the Titanic worked in the Cars universe, which, I would love it if the Titanic and the sinking of the Titanic was included in a Cars movie. I would go absolutely crazy in the theater if they had some sort of flashback to the sinking of the Titanic and the Titanic is a sentient being in the Cars movie. So I cannot agree more with him. I just don't know that I would be brave enough to put that in my blog post
Very true.
about potential characters.
But back to Ian.
Yeah, go back to Ian. Yeah.
It's just Ian. There's no
Hmm.
explanation. Which brings me to the point of not only is Lightning McQueen a person who made a blog that is our podcast, but also a person who makes lists in a way that is similar to, although clearly superior, the way that we make lists, because there's Ian with no explanation. And on a brainstorming document we have made for our episodes, we have listed Doc Holliday with no explanation of what we meant. So the two of us have no idea why we put Doc Holliday in this list. And it's just there. It's just a name with no explanation. And I love the similarity.
Oh yeah, yeah. We that one. I was going through our brainstorming doc, which we made a good time ago. It's actually Doc Hollywood, not Doc Holiday. Now that I look at it,
Doc Hollywood.
which
That makes it more confusing to me somehow. I'm guessing
yeah,
I'm
I have
guessing it's something to
no.
do with a character like probably Doc, probably named after I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know if we were talking about the character Doc. I don't know. Maybe we wanted to talk about like movies, so we put Hollywood, but I don't know what the Doc would mean. It,
Yeah, I if only we had explained.
yeah,
Can we talk about Peaches?
I would love to talk about Peaches. I'm so glad you brought that up.
So, my personal favorite character in this list that includes a character named Tom Diesel, who is Trev Diesel's brother, which beautiful. My favorite character, the entire list, is Peaches, a beautiful steam train.
I'm so glad we're talking about Peaches.
Because let's talk about trains. First, trains in general, they're changing. Most trains that are being like developed and made nowadays we're gearing towards electric trains. Meaning that Peaches probably an older gal, but all that it says is a beautiful steam train. So this Peaches, probably an older character, is a beautiful older woman. And honestly, in Hollywood, we don't include enough of our older actresses because we have this terrible culture that tells people that they have to be young and fresh. And I just like that there's a beautiful older woman in this movie that it's just this character who is representing a group that Hollywood likes to just cast off so much.
And like, as far as I can tell, from what I remember, that's the only adjective like that in his list of characters.
Ellie, a high speed train. Tom Diesel, Trev Diesel's brother. We do get an adjective for Dr. Sullivan Wadden or Waden, new crazy villain. So we get crazy and beautiful. Those are the two descriptions of the characterization.
Yeah, I don't. I wish I could see what his mind's eye sees when he thinks about peaches. I want to know what makes peaches beautiful to Lightning McQueen.
I don't know what it is, but I feel something. I feel a connection to Peaches.
Yeah, Peaches is someone you could really sit down and open your soul to. You know,
Mm-hmm. It's just easy with Peaches.
gosh, it sure is. I bet it's going to be confusing to listen to this episode where we say Lightning McQueen a lot,
No.
and we're not talking about the central character in the movies that our podcast is about.
I mean, we're talking about a central character in our lives at this point,
Yeah.
a hero of ours.
Also, lower down in this post, he includes images of all of the characters he's talked about, and including ones like we were talking about earlier. Some of them he wants to be like real celebrities who are just playing Cars versions of themselves, like Kate Middleton and Katy Perry, and one of them is Flo Rida, and there's just a picture of Flo Rida, and it says Flo Rida, and then in parentheses it says human version, car version unknown, which just got me pretty good when I read that. Got me pretty dang
It's
good.
so good.
But past the possible characters, he also has a possible soundtrack page. And honestly, as far as I can tell, it's just a bunch of songs that he likes. Like a bunch of songs he likes. He has it broken down into 6 discs worth of music. And they're like, I think it was 119 songs that he was saying would be on the soundtrack for Cars 3.
Here's the way our good boy Lightning works. He doesn't list characters that are going to be in the movie. He doesn't have that sort of arrogance. Our boy Lightning, he takes the shotgun approach of I'm going to throw out hundreds of good ideas, and it's so beautiful.
Yeah, and what's the most fascinating to me about it is like clearly that is what he's doing. He's just like, here are a bunch of songs I like. I would love if some of them were in the movie. But he still organized them into separate discs. Like
And
and orders.
he groups together like several songs by the same artist so that it's like if we're going to one artist, we can make sure that there's a specific deal with that artist. But also moves like Jagger. I like that. I like that.
Oh, also, I just remembered this. There is a comment function on these blogs, and pretty much all of his posts do have comments on them. But uh, my favorite comment is on his soundtrack page, or there are two of them actually, and one is California Girls has a swear word in it, so it shouldn't be in Cars 3. And then there's a second one uh, where it says Madagascar 3 was made by DreamWorks. They can be inappropriate sometimes. They say the word hell in like every movie.
Yeah. But Lightning responded to these people, and some of it was, "Are you saying I should remove those two songs from the soundtrack?" And and then there's like a little exchange. I guess it might be okay because this. To which Lightning then responds, "Good." And it seems like it's just this interaction where Lightning was actually going to change the content that was posted in this just huge list of possible songs just so that people could be more comfortable. Lightning is a good guy.
He's so open. Like it, I've seen that interaction is not kind rare. There are several within the comments on his posts where someone makes a suggestion or says, "I think it should be a bit more like this" or something, and he doesn't always like if they say like your idea should be different. He doesn't necessarily change his idea, but he'll include their idea as like a little footnote. Like he'll say, user Jack Ninja 5 Dipper Gravity Falls thinks that it should be like this, and that was their idea. Or he'll someone will say like, oh, I think that Red the Fire Truck should be in Cars 3, and he'll be like, sure, I'll put it in there. He is so open to criticism and suggestions and ideas in his posts, and I love that.
There's so much content. There's so much free flow of ideas.
I feel like I've stepped into another world, you know?
A another world. Okay, so there's a saying: no matter what you do in this world, there's someone somewhere else who's gonna do it better. And I'm glad it's Lightning because
Yeah,
Lightning's doing it better, and Lightning's doing it better actually because the sources, the sheer amount of content, the just hours poured into this, but also with this wonderful atmosphere of willingness to listen and exchange and change, and it's I'm glad it's Lightning.
yeah, and I think his attitude is really well summed up. I have this highlighted on one of my pages. It's the last sentence of his Cars 3 ideas page, and it says, I know Pixar won't accept fan made ideas. I just hope they will use everything I've said in my blog in Cars 3, and if they do, I won't mind what plots they have for more Cars sequels. So he admits, like, yeah, I want them to use everything I do, but I don't know. I just want more Cars sequels, and I won't mind what's in them, and I know they won't use it. He knows he's just having fun, and he's just doing it to do it, and that's really really cool. I I already liked this guy a
Hmm.
lot, but as we talk about him just live on this recording, I'm becoming more and more enamored with him. I just really really like him.
Oh, I found it.
What have you found? What's happening?
Name typo. You misspelled a word in your name. Lightning does not have an E in it. It should be Lightning McQueen, not Lightning McQueen. Mind if you could please fix it? Thank you. Retro Reed, John Reed, Wisnant, 115 June 10th, 2017. To which Lightning responds, I know that, and it was my idea for a great username. It's funny that everyone keeps telling me about the spelling of my username. I'm not going to change it. I think it's a better username than Lightning McQueen. Like this acknowledgement of, oh yeah, I this was intentional, and I'm sorry, but I'm not going to change it.
But he's not rude. He's not like, "Hey man."
Yeah, where most people would say, please stop telling me that, everyone tells me that, it's funny that everyone keeps telling me that, because it's like, yeah, I know that was intentional, but every time people say it, it's a positive response rather than annoyance, and I love that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I guess moving forward, let's see. Oh, he also has an idea for a Cars Christmas special. It starts pretty tame, pretty much what you would expect. They're doing another worldwide Grand Prix. I think he really enjoyed the world travel in Cars too, because he includes that he in all of his ideas pretty much that he wants them to do some sort of worldwide Grand Prix. But
Mm.
they're doing a Christmas themed worldwide Grand Prix, but then it gets pretty buck wild because the Lemons escape from jail and shoot down Santa Claus.
Who, like, it's known thanks to Lightning McQueen's searches and far more extensive knowledge of the Cars universe and canon than we have, that the reindeer are snowmobiles.
Yeah, yeah, he found out that it's canon in the Cars universe that the Santa's reindeer are snowmobiles thanks to the book Mater Saves Christmas.
Which does change our theory a little bit about animals in this universe, because we assumed that, like, bike handles, we assumed that the animals would be like bikes, things without a motor, which would be the thing that like makes them sentient. But in another blog post of his, are motors essential to their life? I think it's a comparison of that's their heart, which good on them. That good makes sense. So we don't have we can't really say that it would be bikes. We can't say it'd be like scooters or whatnot because reindeer are animals and they were snowmobiles.
That because of him and his research, we have to change around one of our theories. We have to rethink it.
It's so good.
That's pretty cool. But he goes on to keep talking about his Christmas special. And he says he wants Finn McMissile and Holly Shiftwell back with Lightning and Mater, see if they can save Christmas. It's pretty good. But on several of his posts, he's included some sort of poll, like usually something along the lines of, "Hey, what do you think of this idea?" Or every once in a while he'll do like, I remember one was just like, "What was your favorite animated movie of 2012?" Cars 2 did not win, which I thought was very funny. Uh, but his poll on this post was just, "Hey, do you like my idea for a Cars Christmas special?" And before John and I came along, the voting was 18 yes, 19 no, which just broke my heart.
Yeah.
Luckily for us, though, these polls apparently never close. So we have rectified this. Both of us have cast a vote and have told him that we like his idea for a Christmas special. So yeah, the yeses are beating out the nos now.
And after you listen to this episode, if you want to spread the positivity and add a yes for this amazing Christmas special idea, please do. And if you don't and you want to spread negativity, don't. Just don't do that. Who hurt you?
Yeah, this is such a nice lad. Be cool to him.
So good. Can we talk about Tom and Jerry?
We can. Yeah, this is one of his weirder ones. I will say that up front.
Okay, so the premise is that Tom the cat, the Tommy cat, if you will, uh, is gonna steal the Omni droid from Syndrome, from The Incredibles, and just wreak havoc.
Yeah, kind of. He wants some sort of. I guess it would be one all-encompassing movie or maybe a mini series. I don't know, where Tom and Jerry just break out of their reality and go into the different Pixar movies. And yes, in the Incredibles part, he wanted Tom to steal the Omni Droid and wreak havoc.
And uh, a major component of this proposal is that Tom just hurts people.
Yeah, in each of the little summaries from each of the different universes they would be visiting, like if I remember right, the Bug's Life summary in its entirety is just yeah, Tom kicks the bugs, including Flick, Ada, Dot, and others, injuring them, and that's the entirety of his idea for what they would do in Bug's Life. Yeah, for the rest of them, it's a bit more extensive, but it always includes that Tom injures the our main characters from these movies.
Oh, okay, okay. Tom the cat is a real stinker.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, his most extensive summary is when they visit the Cars universe, but it's a little weird because it's very like what they do in Radiator Spring is basically what Lightning does in the first Cars movie. They like get tangled up in wires and break off the statue of Stanley and damage the road. And he has like a word for word recounting of it, and that's what they do in Radiator Springs. Is just exactly what Lightning did in the first Cars movie.
Oh, okay.
And then they get sentenced to the exact same community service, or just Tom does. I thought that was interesting. Only Tom gets sentenced to the community service
But,
of fixing up the road.
but he a cat.
Yeah,
How's he gonna hook up the road thing to himself?
I mean, how'd they drag the big statue of Stanley all over the road?
Good point. Good question. I don't I don't know. Fun thing to think about though. So let's move on to let's move on to ladies and gentle cars.
Oh yeah, that one's a pretty good one.
All right. So Lightning has a page that is all about different colloquialisms, different phrases, different words. Is it throughout every movie or just the Cars and Planes movies?
It's Cars 1 and 2, Planes 1 and 2, and I think it includes a few Cars video games as well.
Okay, so not just the movies. All right. And it's a list that includes all of these phrases that are specific to the Cars universe, but are versions of what we would say that are different because it is Cars. So, so how extensive would you say this list is?
It seems all encompassing to me. As far as I can tell, it's every, like, for example, it's got like every instance of like them saying like ladies and gentle cars. He has on the opposite side, in our world this would be ladies and gentlemen. So he's basically translating what they're saying. He's got like Bob, my oil pressure's through the roof right now, and he says in our world, Bob, it would be Bob, my blood pressure's really high right now. And it's, as far as I can tell, all encompassing. I can't imagine, with how lengthy this is, he has missed any quotes from any of these movies.
So, you and I like to do this thing where we try and make puns for the episodes' names. This list just shows how minuscule the work we have put into these puns is by comparison because just for Cars there is a massive list. And immediately after that, Cars Tunes, another decent sized list. It's significantly smaller, probably because there's just less to go off of. And then there's Cars 2, which is somehow significantly larger than Cars 1. Uh, then Planes, about the same size as Cars Tunes. But all of these lists together, so many examples. Let's see how he puts it. World with humans and the Cars characters, including a world with real life events and movie, video, game, and TV characters. And then that's compared to just Cars World.
Yeah,
Want to read off any of your favorite examples?
I mean, yeah, sure. Now that I look at this, it seems like it's not just what it would be in our world. Yeah, it's what it would be in a combined utopia with humans and Cars characters.
Yep. Because one of the things they say is tires becomes tires and shoes.
Yeah, and we've got like I have gas, lots of gas becomes I have gas, lots of gas, and food and drinks. So yeah, I didn't actually catch that. That this is not a straight translation.
Tractor tippin's fun, cow tippin's fun. That's just a translation. Then there's uh, a minivan becomes a minivan driver, so that would just be a translation. But some of these are just like, hey, we're still talking about cars here, so we can't just exclude that part of it. Like, I hate rusty cars and dirty humans for I hate rusty
Yeah, and
cars.
like in the planes one, it's a they say he shot down 50 planes becomes they say he shot down 50 planes and pilots. I don't know, man. This is intense. I
Yep.
don't know. I was not thinking of this utopic world he was imagining. I guess our worlds finally meet.
Wait a minute. Oh, that abominable snowplow is quite the comic thespian. Is that a quote from
Is that a
Monsters Inc.?
quote from something?
I think it's from Monsters Inc.
It's when they're it's during the credits when I think it's Mac is watching Cars
Oh,
versions of
yeah.
all of the other Pixar movies.
So it is from that, but it's from the other that. Oh boy. Headlights, monsieur? Headlights becomes headlights and eyeballs, monsieur? Headlights or eyeballs?
Oh, geez.
Yup. So Lightning definitely took from that what we took from it.
Yeah, that she's just selling eyeballs. And right below that is I never liked new car smell becomes I never liked new person smell, which I don't care for that very much at
Some
all.
people like how babies smell.
Yeah, but no one calls it new person smell.
I mean, maybe Lightning does.
Yeah, you know,
Lightning might just have a different way of saying things. I mean, Lightning is from the UK. I don't know how those UKians talk. What would that be? United Kingdomites?
I think just, well, British people.
Well,
Did you have facts for this one?
oh yeah. The thing is, I'd like to think that these are a bunch of fun facts and probably some not so fun facts. But I did have two just random things that I know about cars as of late, like how the second generation of Mini Coopers was well known for having a strange problem where before you would have to get your oil changed, it would have already run out completely, which very very bad. This does
Yeah.
permanent damage to your vehicle. So those two things are my very not fun fact. And what was my very fun fact? Ah, my fun fact is that there's a type of vehicle called a coupe and or a coupe, depending on how you pronounce it. The coupe or coupe is a vehicle that has two doors and like a slanted rear. And there is a type of Mini Cooper called the Cooper Coupe. I just like that there's a Cooper Coupe.
That is very good. That's a very fun fact.
I like how it looks. I'm aware that plenty of people do not like how it looks, but I want one. I have been looking into trying to get a Mini Cooper, but that's well down the line once all my massive pay comes in.
Oh yeah, yeah. It is. It is. I have noticed that it has been sort of caught up. You know,
Oh yeah,
it is coming. Let me guarantee you that.
those paychecks, they're I'm sure they're in the mail.
One day. Uh, well, I feel like we've covered just about everything I want to cover about our good pal Lightning. You feel the same?
I think so. And just a shout out to my co-host Lucas. We like to laugh about how sometimes we don't do any research for our episodes. Sometimes we do a preliminary Google search. Sometimes we do searching throughout the episode. We don't really do too much looking into it because that kind of ruins the fun for us. In fact, I still have yet to watch Cars 3, and that's
That's our next episode, actually.
that's
Yeah.
kind of silly of me, but in spite of all that, for today's episode, while looking into this phenomenal Lightning McQueen, we've got we've got a document of notes that we take for episode, like the general layout that we want to go for, and this is about 4 pages of notes that Lucas has compiled of just interesting things that he has found about Lightning McQueen. So good job, Lucas, for this extensive deep dive.
Yeah. Thank you. But I don't know. For this one, I felt like we should do it upright for Lightning. Do it in his style this time. And I just want to also say I feel like it's been very clear through our tone from this. We are not in any way mocking or belittling this guy. I genuinely think he's the coolest person in the world. And also, John Bishop and I are the last two people in the on the planet who can judge someone for liking cars a lot and thinking about cars a lot. So
We think about
just
cars
wanted to throw that in.
so much.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Lightning McQueen walked so we could run.
Yep,
He's
beautiful.
he's he's one of my personal heroes now.
And Lightning McQueen, if you are listening to this, if it seemed like a joke, we are serious. If you want to be a part of this show at all, just contact us. We'd be eager and happy to.
Yeah, I would. I would. It would make my year life if we heard from you. That would be the coolest thing in the world.
That really would.
Well, I guess that about wraps it up. Thank you for listening this week.
All right.
That's real cool of you.
Just remember to comment, rate, email us, find us on Twitter. Just just try and keep in touch and tell your friends.
Yeah, and that Twitter is at @thekachat. Our email is thekachat@gmail.com if you want to do any of those things. And that's about it. Until next time, I've been Lucas Southworth.
And I've been John Bishop.
And don't forget to float like a Cadillac. Got it?
Ting like a beamer.
Cool. Man, you usually forget.
Yep.